Good morning, everyone. This is going to be a break to switch over to English for a little bit, and I'm hoping I'm clear and you can get what I'm trying to say here. So, can I have the slides up? Okay. All right, so we are in a rare time in the history where, AI is seeing a great inflection point. AI became mainstream with 2023, and it's redefining every aspect, whether, be it our social lives, be it the businesses that we see, and all of us are touched by it. Now, what you see here is where the industry is moving. Whether you are a customer, or you are a solution provider, or you are a ISV building your own product, this is what people are expecting as an experience. Just come up, type something in natural language, say something in natural language, and get an answer in natural language. At the back, all the complexity is hidden, and it's really simple for someone to navigate a system. So this is the new era of AI we are all living in. And when we look at AI, there are really, stories all around where students are using it to generate their college essays. There are people writing poems and mails and letters, but that's the consumer AI. When it comes to business, that's where IBM, differentiates, and what we call AI for business is a little bit different ballgame, because what you don't expect is outputs which are not going to be in line with your business. So what is AI for business? And I'm going to just take a quick 10 minutes to run through some of the key determinants for a business-ready AI and how IBM is helping. And we have a lot of our partners here who have worked together with IBM and SMI to implement that technology that you will be seeing as part of the showcase later in the day. So business is adopting AI either to change the experience, build competitive differentiation, and impact the top line, or to improve the productivity and impact the bottom line and essentially reduce the cost. But you see, like if you just Google AI gone wrong or, generative AI gone wrong, you will come across various cases where companies are hitting the headline for the wrong reason. Their stocks are tumbling, the brand image is getting damaged, and that is why you see a lot of generative AI projects start, but very few go into production, because businesses are still not sure how to handle a lot of other aspects which come with it. Let's take a quick look at some of the questions which are top of mind with businesses as they adopt generative AI. Of course, how was the model trained? How was my AI trained? What kind of answer it is going to give to my end customers? Can it detect hate, abuse, profanity, bias, hallucination? Like, these are all real issues, and the list is longer than what you see here. But, on one side, we have all these challenges. On the other side, technology is developing to address them head on. Government is gearing up to create regulations and to monitor the use of AI, not the technology itself, but the use of the technology. So we see compliances coming up. So businesses are concerned about safety. What happens if something goes wrong? Who owns the liability? A great example is one of the airlines, Air Canada, you can Google this again, where, they had their chatbot which promised refund to customer. And now who is responsible for that? This was a clear case of hallucination where the chatbot, created a policy which never existed for the company and went and promised refund, but the company stands behind what has been done now. So who owns the liability, and how much can you customize the AI? How much can you really own it? So some of the questions which are top of mind with business, and really quickly, this is where IBM plays. This is where our investments are. We have years of research behind the AI that we have in market. It's called watsonx. And you will see the implementation of watsonx throughout the day. If you want to learn more about the technology, me, my colleagues, we're all here. We can talk at the sideline. But essentially, there are three components that you see here. It's a complete end-to-end AI lifecycle management platform, which gives you the ability to implement the AI through the studio, which is the middle part, watsonx.ai. It lets you take care of your data, which is your enterprise data, which is going to augment the models which IBM brings in, which is the data piece, and then finally governance, and the most important piece, which is going to take care of all the issues that we saw on the previous page. And now, just couple points on how IBM differentiates and what is different about the AI which we bring to market and which has been implemented by the couple of the solutions you will see today. So the first one is open. We believe multi-model is the way to go. One model will not rule it all. So for those of you who are new to generative AI, the heart of how this, how this magic is happening, how answers are getting generated is a foundation model. And there are 5,000 plus foundation models getting generated every week. So it's not one model which will rule it all. And that's a really important point. A recent example is IBM announced a partnership with AI Singapore. Sea Lion is a model that they have created to, to support the Southeast Asian languages, including Bahasa. That's one of the languages. So you need to be able to bring in that model into your implementation, and there will be many such more models, supporting different use cases. So multi-model is the way to go. Multi-cloud. You may be on one cloud today. You may want to run on another cloud. You may want to run on-prem because you have a data sovereignty requirement to meet for a client. So how do we support that? So that's what core principles of IBM's AI are. It's trusted. You can explain how a decision was reached. It's not black box. It's not like an answer will come and you don't know how it came. So it's trusted, it's explainable. We publish the data that our models have been trained on, and IBM's models are called, it's a series called Granite. So, trusted, targeted, our models are smaller, trained on domain-specific data. They are not for generating college essays or poems. That's not what the objective of those models is. They are trained on financial data, on legal data. And that makes them smaller. They are cheaper to run because you need less capacity to run them. So very different approach on how these models are created. And this is huge. IBM actually indemnifies for the use of its model. So if something goes wrong, IBM is behind it to take the liability. So, and we are the only company which is offering that to the extent that we are offering it. Others are claiming, but this is very unique to IBM. And then finally, the last point is where the enterprise AI really, comes in. Whatever, if you are using someone's AI, even your competitors can use it. How are you going to be different? You have to move from being an AI user to a value creator. And that happens when you start using your data to train those models. You bring in your enterprise data, which is your asset, to augment the models which exist. So these are some of the key areas. And as I said, our AI can run anywhere. Here is how you can take a look at what we are doing. IBM has done 1,000 plus projects last year, 2023. Some of them were done with our ISV partners, build partners, and a build partner can be anyone. It can be a solution provider. Anyone who is building a solution to sell to other businesses would become a build partner. So if you just, this is the URL. Here is a quick QR code. Go and you can see these implementations live. No login required. This is a super simple site that we created. It's called DSCE, Digital Self-Serve Co-Create Experience. You can play around with the live use cases running on watsonx here. All different kinds of use cases. And finally, as I said, anybody could be building. You could be a customer who has a really cool technology, asset which you want to commercialize. You could be a solution provider, a service system integrator, an ISV. If you have a product or a solution which you are taking to market commercially, this is how IBM supports the journey. And we work very closely with our partners, like SMI and IBM will jointly work with you on this journey, where there are two phases, right? You build with IBM technology, and then you go to market. So as you build your product, we have a whole co-creation setup. Our engineers will work with you to build the product, and then once you're ready to go to market, you get the reach of both SMI, their network, and IBM. So with that, that's a quick rundown, a lot actually, but really excited for what we have here, some of the great solutions that you will be seeing as part of the technology showcase. Thank you.